Hi, Cancer Sun and Rising. Welcome to your November 2024 Astro Update. It's Raina here. So, November is primarily Scorpio season, and Scorpio is a fellow water sign, so this trines your Sun or Ascendant, any of these transits in Scorpio. As the month begins, we have a new moon at 9 degrees of Scorpio, and this is your fifth house of love and creativity. This can mean that you are beginning some kind of a new creative project. Maybe there's someone that you're interested in who is, you're dating, you're in that initial stage of getting to know someone, maybe falling in love. That's a possibility. And this is also the house of children, and that includes conceiving children. So you may decide that you want children or that you're trying to conceive children. That's a possibility. On the second, Mercury goes into Sagittarius, the sixth house of health and work, and that is indicating that some of you may be like talking to a potential employer. If you're currently employed, you might be researching jobs in your area because you're not really happy with the current one you have. This is the house of health, so you might be reading up on diet books. I'm not talking about necessarily losing weight, but simply anything to do with health. If you want to, um, restore your health or enhance your health, you could be doing research on this, on what to eat, what not to eat. This is also the house of your daily routine. So whatever it is that you do, how you order your time management, and you might be thinking about this. How can I become more productive? How can I have more freedom? Sag is all about freedom. On the third, Mars goes into Leo, and I want you to take a special note of this because Mars is going to go retrograde in December, and what that means is it's going to slow down the transit. Mars typically has about a 6-week transit through a sign. So when it stays in one house for months at a time, that is highly important because it means it's going to affect you for a longer period of time. And Mars will eventually, when it retrogrades, go back into your sign. So the second and the first houses will be impacted by this. But I'm just going to speak out, I'll get to the Mars retrograde when I get there, but I just want to speak about Mars going into your second house. Mars can be a hustling energy, meaning that the person feels a sense of urgency when it comes to the matters of that house. In the second house of earned income, you may feel compelled to make more money. So if you have a day job, you may get a side hustle, and it might be something seasonal. I mean, you could say we're in holiday season after Halloween. This is the third when Mars goes into Leo. So you might be thinking about Christmas and you want to have extra money to buy gifts or whatever, and that's what it means for you. For someone else, it might be some other financial goal, or just in general, I think Cancer is one of those signs that it's like you can never have enough money. So if you find that you have an opportunity, you will likely run with it. Now, the third house, okay, and the second house, yeah, so I think I'll just stick with that. On the 11th, Venus, this is 11/11 portal. Venus goes into Capricorn, which is your opposite sign. Oh, you know what I was thinking? Wow, wouldn't that be cool if some people were going to get married on 11/11. I know someone that did, but I mean, Venus is here, and Venus is all about love. Venus rules the seventh house. So we could say that one of the areas is partnership when Venus is here. Venus can bring harmony to a particular area. In this case, the area of your relationship to another person. It doesn't have to be your spouse. It could be a business partnership or some kind of, client that you have or clients. This could be money through clients. Venus can be money. But something is harmonious as it pertains to you and another person. On the 15th, we have a full moon at 24 degrees of Taurus, and this will fall in your 11th house of hopes and wishes. You may have a goal that you are reaching at this point that has been a long-range goal. This is also the house of gains, so you may find that you have some kind of financial boost at this point, because it could be from your career, from the business that you own, that you experience some sort of increase. And Saturn turns direct on the same day at 12 degrees of Pisces, another water sign. But this time it's coming from the other side, still trining you, but the ninth house. The ninth house is the house of long distance travel, the house of higher education, higher mind, God house. So anything connected with religion, philosophical frameworks is connected here. It's really, you could like boil it down to the house of expansion. So whether it's expansion of the mind, of your greater sense in life, that you have this like if you're traveling far and wide, and it just opens you up to so much else that's going on, but besides your little world. So it's possible that if you have been traveling or wanting to travel, that something was delaying your ability to do so, or putting some kind of restrictions on that, and now you're able to I think more freely do it. And one big area that you will see with travel with Saturn, I feel, is through work, where like people who are digital nomads, or maybe like if you are in the spiritual genre community already, like in terms of your work. Let's say you're a massage therapist or a yoga teacher, and you go to different spas in other countries. Maybe there was some kind of travel restrictions or something that prevented you from doing so, and now you might be doing it, or working towards that's something that you wanted to do. Like maybe you have wanted to become a yoga teacher, but something made you have to delay this. Well, I think that part of it is the inner discipline that Saturn retrograde may have given you, like the spiritual discipline to really see if you are aligned with this in the first place. So that you might find that these restrictions are lifted and that you're able to continue to pursue these kinds of goals. On the 19th, Pluto goes back into Aquarius, and it'll stay there for the next 20 years. So this is an area to really pay attention to. This is a general reading, so some of these transits of when Pluto actually will enter this area for you, it will depend on your um, you know, cusp of the eighth house in this case, like what degree it's at. So if you have your chart, you'll have to refer to that. But yeah, so when it goes into your eighth house, Pluto, this can be a time when power struggles ensue about money that you share with other people. The examples of this can be inheritances, it can be you and your spouse's money, it can be um it actually can Pluto can confer wealth. So it is possible through like investments that you can really have you can really attract great wealth to you. But remember, this is a 20-year cycle, and so it's not something that's just dramatically may present itself. But at the beginning of the transit, there might be some crisis. So, and I like to think of crises as tests of, what are we made of? What are our attitudes? The the whole purpose of Pluto is transformation. So it does this in these kinds of scenarios that present themselves that make it so that you have to rise to the occasion about something and do what needs to be done. What is the proper thing to do? Because Pluto is the lord of the underworld, and it's associated with karma. And karma simply means action. It's not about punishment, but as we know, there are actions and there are reactions. So we want to, whatever we're doing in life, we want to act in a way that we don't create a boomerang effect that has negative consequences. So it's not really about morality. It's about understanding that life is just comprised of the sum of our actions, planting seeds and sowing seeds, that kind of thing. So, what kind of seeds do you want to plant? Do you want to be fighting with people over money? So, if there is some inheritance issue, maybe right out of the box, and you are like thinking, that's my money, I want that money, take a step back and say, what am I really, what's really going on here? Am I doing anything underhanded to try to get this because I'm grasping? You know, that's like in yoga, there's these ethics in yoga, and one of them that is considered like something to banish from your life is grasping. I think it's called aparigraha or something like that. But the point is that, and I could see the Cancer clause, like grasping at things, including financial resources. It's really at its core fear based. Even if we label it as greed, it's really that a person feels like they need something to feel safe. If they don't have it, they're going to feel like a sense of emptiness. Yes, the ego can be involved too. But anyway, so you're going to be dealing with this, but also because Pluto is one of the rulers of the eighth house, this is an amazing opportunity for you to experience transformation at a deep level. And that includes your relationship with death. Death is this is the house of Scorpio. And whenever you see scorpionic images, it's usually like black and, there's skulls. Think of the Day of the Dead and that kind of thing. And that's one of the reasons why the Day of the Dead uses those La Catrina, the woman who is like a skeleton, and she's got all these. She's all dolled up because it's making mockery of the resources of the world, like how temporary they are. You can't take it with you. So, anyway, these kinds of transformational influences can really create a different you by the time this transit is over in 2044. On the 21st, we have the sun going into Sagittarius, and so that is going to be the sixth house. So we've already talked about Mercury going there. Now the sun is here. And just really centering yourself in issues surrounding work and how you're ordering your time and your health routines. And 4 days later, Mercury goes retrograde at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. So certainly this can be a time when you are kind of reviewing. And I think I heard that Mercury retrogrades are a great time to research things. So, things about health, especially, if this is something that you feel is an important issue to you at this time, then you may be reading a lot. And this is definitely around the holiday season. It's right before Thanksgiving for those of us in America who celebrate it. And so learning what is good for you, what is not, it's really hard for people to go on diets during the holidays, obviously, but you may feel the need to at least research because you realize that you have some control over your health as it pertains to the kind of diet that you have. So that might be something that you're looking into and trying to remedy. And just like I was talking about daily routines, this is another thing that you might be like saying, I don't know if I really want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Maybe I want to go to bed earlier. A little bit later because I've had to go to bed so early, and then because I want to meditate at night. Kind of like, how can I still maintain a healthy lifestyle? And yet I'm putting in more time for my spiritual pursuits, not just physical or not just work and that kind of thing. So Mercury will be retrograding here for the next few weeks. If you have been interviewing with employers and you feel like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard back from them, there might be a delay. And if you're interviewing during this time, make sure that your resume actually landed with them and that, because there might be snafus with paperwork that have to do with employers. Yeah, so that's what we have, Cancer. And I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a private reading, I have package deals, my deep dive reading, which is an hour of natal chart analysis, an hour of transits. And if you like the tarot, I have a full-length tarot reading that's included with those 2 readings for a special price. That's called the whole enchilada. And I have standalone readings for career, love, etc., etc. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for listening. Bye.